Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. In today's video, come spend a little time with us. We got a little bit of garden picking to do, and we're gonna go around and give you an update because y'all guess what? We've had almost an inch of rain since last time they saw anything, right?
I think so, right?
It's been close to an inch, and boy, it made everything look so much happier.
It does look happier. We're supposed to be getting more, hopefully this evening.
Yeah, there's a chance of thunderstorms, I think, like every day.
Yeah,
so
I got my fingers crossed we keep getting it. But
yep, but it's really, the garden's really looking a lot happier. You know, some of the stuff already got cooked a long time ago, and it probably ain't coming back, but we're gonna get...
Just like this grass right here in the yard. I mean, it's still, I don't know if it will come back out.
Yeah. I believe we've got some October beans to pick and some purple hull peas. We're gonna see. We're gonna go down to the creek, but first, you know, here's a quick look at the garden up here at the house.
I believe you might have some more of them tomatoes there to pick.
Yeah, I believe so. The tomato plants still look pretty sad, but that's okay. The squash plants are actually like thriving, and usually by this time of year squash is kind of fizzled out, ain't it?
Yeah, I did see some squash bugs on them the other day, so I went ahead and sprayed them one more time. And
did you?
yeah, I mean, really not necessarily to protect the plants, just to keep them from having babies and laying eggs and all that stuff. So we've done had about all the squash we want for now, ain't we?
Oh yeah. My pole cucumbers, they have seen better days. But let's see. I want to show y'all, we've had a lot of questions of when to pick these October beans. So those of you that may not know, October bean is also known as a cranberry bean, a horticulture bean. It's got a lot of names. Like, they're like tie-dyed pink.
Pick them when you see white and pink. If you're still seeing green and pink, like that,
yeah,
they ain't quite ready yet.
And they'll, I mean,
you can also let them dry on the vine if that's what you prefer to do.
Right. A lot of people use them as like dried beans to store them that way, and that's totally fine. I just enjoy canning them. It makes for a really quick meal, so we pick them like that. And if you pick them with some green on them, just know that's fine. They'll just be quite a bit harder to shell.
Yep. So we're actually out here in the heat of the day picking these things.
It's not ideal, but
it's not the ideal time to pick. But the reason we're doing that is because we actually had a shower of rain yesterday evening, so everything was still pretty soaking wet this morning. And where we're not going to be shelling these beans today, you don't want to pick them wet and then leave them laying in a bucket, because they can sour and everything else. So we waited till they dried off before we come out here and picked them.
That's one thing I accidentally found out a few years ago. I had, I believe it was Crowder peas. A few years ago that I didn't have time. I had to pick them. It's back when I was working full time, and I just didn't have time to fool with them, and I set them over to the side and kind of actually forgot about them for a couple of days. And I realized that once that shell wilted, they were so much easier to shell. They were so much easier. So ever since then, I don't shell them the same day I pick them. I like to pick them and let them at least sit overnight.
Yeah, let them sit in the cool house in the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Our house stays pretty cold all the time. So, you know, nothing's going to go bad.
But that's another reason I wanted them, you know, well, like he said, don't want them sitting there wet.
Yep, we pick them and we do the Crowder peas. Do the Crowder peas and these October beans.
Anything I'm gonna shell.
It's like if that shell wilts, seems like it makes it quite a bit easier to shell them. So guys, it is also common practice. A lot of people I know that plant these come through and just pull up the whole plant, because these October beans don't typically put off new blooms. I guess they could if you left them long enough, but usually once they sit their fruit, they're pretty much done. So a lot of people will wait till they're just about all right, come through and pull the plant up, and then go pull the bean off somewhere else. Matter of fact, that's how my mom and daddy done theirs this year. And the reason we're not waiting until later this evening to pick them is because we do have another chance for thunderstorms to come through. So we thought we better pick them while the
they're
picking
dry.
was good.
Yep. And we do get our seeds for these from Hoss. We used to plant them years ago, like when me and you first got married, right?
Yeah.
But they were, you know, October beans.
I'm pretty sure the name of those were Taylor horticulture beans.
And then we couldn't find them, remember?
No, they were vining beans, and for
That's
some
what it
reason they
was.
never did
They
good
didn't
for
do
us.
good. That's right. So we quit planting them. Then we found out about Hoss tools. We've been buying from them for at least probably the last 3 years.
Yeah. We seen on one of his shows one night that he had started carrying them, and they were a bush variety.
Yep, that's right.
And so we thought we would try them because we loved them, but we never could get a good crop out of those vining ones that we were planting. We were buying those from a local store, and they just, for some reason, they never did good for us at all. We'd get one little picking off of them, and that would be it.
Hardly worth fooling with.
So we started planting these bush beans from him, from Hoss, and that's what got us started on them, man, I tell you.
And in all of our videos, just be sure to check the description. We will put a link to their website. They are known as Supremo beans on his website. That's the variety he carries, and that's what these right here are. So I want to show y'all real quick our jade beans. So at this point, I have canned enough jade beans for my satisfaction. We also have those blue, or Kentucky Blue Wonders.
I think that's what they were called.
They're called something like that. Down across the creek. And even if I don't get a picking off them, I've canned plenty of green beans. So this will be the 4th time these jade beans need to be picked. But I want to show y'all, we were just looking.
Look in there. See the beans all up in there?
Yep.
That's the bad thing about these jades, though. Boy, them beans, they like to hide deep down in the plant.
Look under there.
Look right here. Now, I know that don't look like a whole lot, but by the time you pick all these right here, that'll probably be just about enough for another canner full.
Yep.
We're just about green beaned out. All right.
Well, let's head down to the creek and see what that looks like. I want to show y'all real quick here too before we go to the creek. Some of our watermelons. This is the best one, but all these were ripe. We ain't cut into them yet, but we've had a deer up there go to busting them. So Andy went up there yesterday and picked what was ripe. Maybe we can cut one open after supper or something.
I ain't sure that like them right there is gonna be any kind.
Yeah.
But they got like the blossom end right on them.
Yeah.
And these right here are almost soft. It's like they got sun scorched.
Oh.
Where they were laying out. That was the side that was up, not down. That's your down side. That was laying directly up towards the sun.
Oh,
And that's really soft.
I
So
see.
y'all can see they didn't make much size. Them two right there was the prettiest ones we had.
We'll see.
But it's better than nothing.
That's right. Looks a little happier. So we've come down to the creek garden now, and this is where most of our beans are probably gonna be.
We're gonna have a pile of them down here.
Yeah, but things have really perked up down here, which this garden, as you've heard us say a million times, when it gets a little water on it, buddy, it hangs on to it. So it's actually pretty muddy down here.
It is. It's the only like field type garden we've got that is muddy right now. Everywhere else has really just sucked it up, but down here on this creek bottom, I'm telling you what, a wet year is really challenging, but a dry year is a good year for this garden, and you can see behind us the proof to show it. But I ain't gonna lie, that rain really perked all this up, especially the corn. The corn hadn't had hardly any rain on it since it was planted, and now it has really shot up.
Yeah, it looks a whole lot better
since that rain. But the pumpkins here, just look at the pumpkins. We've never had pumpkins look like this.
Never.
So, y'all, what we've been doing with these pumpkins is, I have put a lot of effort into these pumpkins so far. We've been coming down here about once a week, maybe every 10 days, something like that, and are mixing up some Miracle Grow in our watering cans and watering. Like, we'll go through like a big pack of Miracle Grow in just 2 waterings, and we've really been throwing it to these pumpkins. I hope we really get something out of them.
They're going to creep over and be in your corn.
They're all in the corn. They're already getting in these peas. I've done figured out we didn't leave enough room for them.
Yeah.
I thought we had plenty of room, but nah, they're going to end up. I wouldn't be afraid to say that some of these pumpkin vines are going to, the way they're growing right now, they'll be over there with sweet potatoes. Because
You think they'll be that far?
I think they will. I do. Because they're just shooting out vines. I mean, every time I come down here, they've grown a foot.
That's true.
Like in less than, in a day's time.
Yeah, we ain't never had no pumpkins like that.
But we ain't going to get our hopes up just yet, though. We got a long time between now and when they make pumpkins.
Yep.
So these plants right here, they are flat loaded down with beans. Look at them there. These are the same October beans we were just talking about. But all out through there. And we're also going to be picking these today. Our purple hull peas. We have a lot that are like that right there. That means they're ready. But look, I hope that camera shows that. They are loaded with them things too. This is probably the best crop of field peas that we've had in several seasons here. And I'm guessing it's just because it's been so hot, because field peas like the hot. And last year we actually never even really got hot. We only had maybe a couple days that were above 90 last year, where this year, here it is only mid-July, and we've done had several days above 90 degrees. And like I said, I'm guessing that's why these field peas are doing so good. These are Mississippi pink eye purple hulls.
And they are so good.
They are. We've done picked a couple of messes and eat them for supper. But now I think we've actually got enough ready that we can come through and just clean house on the ones that's ready. But these right here, they ain't even started blooming yet. I want to show y'all just how much these things have bushed out.
And they're growing, yeah, every which way.
They're from that row plumb over to the pumpkins, and they are just, these are the Dixie Lee peas you keep hearing us talk about. And my goodness, if they, I can't wait to see them start putting on peas, because if they're anything like what the bush looks like, they are going to be flat loaded. So if nothing else fails, if everything goes good, we should be plenty stocked up on peas by the end of this year. We're going to be down here a while.
Yeah, we might be. Still some, well, at least down on this end, it ain't ready.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch that ain't ready.
Is everyone ready?
Yes. See how it's white and pink instead of green and pink? You gotta be careful. There you go, like that. That was good.
Hey, how you done how much fun made room?
That's from up there at the house too. I can work on maybe shelling them tomorrow. I may not can them all at the same time. I don't know.
Mama, I feel like I need to go swim that creek.
I bet you do. You done got hot, ain't you?
Yeah, I need to go swim the creek.
Mama, I feel like I need to go swim in the creek too.
Me too.
I'm making sure you didn't miss none.
That's how they get the pollen out.
These are some pretty beans, ain't they?
They really are.
That almost a granddaddy long legs. That's you. I did not do that.
I know you didn't. I guess the wind did it.
I did not do that. Trying to catch him. Come on. Where'd you go? You just put it on low fire.
If it's almost purple, pick it too.
Okay. What I'm probably going to do is go up one side of these and come back down the other.
Well, I'll go up the other side.
Just right here at planting this many peas, we're going to have us a pea show.
Yeah, I know, right?
I wonder if them things work good. I tell you, it's hard not to step on them. Everything's so big through here. Oh man, that breeze feels wonderful.
Yes, it does. Only bad thing about these peas, for whatever reason, ants get on them.
Looks like that with all of them, no
I
matter
know.
what kind it is. I wonder if they don't like the nectar or something that comes out of these blooms.
I don't know. Got ants all over them. Get off of me.
Well, they won't bother you though.
Well, I don't like them crawling on me.
Huh?
I don't like them crawling on me.
Yeah, I'm having to step on some here. But I don't know what else to do. And I see a few new blooms coming on.
Yep.
See a whole lot more new peas. Anything bothered me none.
I keep knocking them off of me.
Remember last year we planted some down here and didn't think they was gonna make a thing and ended up getting some off of them.
Uh-huh.
And then look at this year. Loaded with them.
I bet, like you said, it's probably been the heat. They're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, 'cause like I said, last year it was a cool summer. We was due for a hot one. Did you pick him on the green bean row over there?
Yeah. I did. You can just pour your October beans over there in that wash pan. That way I can have my bucket back.
Alright. Look at all the new blooms on these green beans.
Yeah, I know. The heavy picking of them right there is still yet to come.
Of what?
These purple whole peas.
Oh yeah, yeah. We didn't even make a dent in them.
No.
Just look out across there. That's all you see. Is green peas sticking up. So y'all, I guess you could say this is our first big harvest out of this garden for the year. Look here. Look at all them October beans. And almost a 5-gallon bucket of the purple hull peas. And I just want to say that The purple hull peas are just getting started.
Yeah, like we didn't even touch them.
We just lightly touched the first pick in there because there is so much green peas left out there. What are we gonna do with them all?
Eat them, I reckon.
I guess so. My goodness.
I want to tell y'all something though, and I know, you know, some of y'all have heard it in previous videos, but I'm just so tickled over these October beans. They are mine and Andy's favorite. If we could only plant one thing, bean, field pea, whatever, it would be the October beans. They are so good. And last year they didn't do well, and so this year we've really been blessed this year.
Yeah, just look at that. And that's not all of them. We've still got more out there to pick.
Oh, yeah, we could probably do that one more time.
Yeah,
once everything ripens up.
I'd say so too.
And then those at the house are just now really ripening up. So,
yeah.
Let's go show them the popcorn.
All right, yeah, because that's something else that I think we're going to end up being surprised over. I look like I've took a dip in the creek. I'm soaking wet.
It's humid out here.
Look at my tomatoes here. Now, I don't have no baby tomatoes yet. But these are just some heirloom seeds that, like I said, a subscriber give us.
There's blooms on them though.
And they are doing so good. I did see this one right here. I believe this little guy is one of those patio tomatoes. See how he's got those little cherry tomatoes on them, and the plant itself is only just a few inches tall. So had I known that was in there, I probably would have planted that in a pot at the house, but I didn't realize that's what it was.
It's cool though.
So y'all, the popcorn down here is definitely coming out of the kinks, that's for sure. And our beans that y'all watched us plant beside the popcorn, these are the Kentucky
Blues or Kentucky Blue Wonder, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, you see they're starting to run, and they're running up the popcorn just like they're supposed to do. See them right there? So that's exactly what we wanted to do. But just look at the popcorn. We were worried we weren't going to have no popcorn. And we have ears all over the place in here now. Now, none of them are the same time with each other. Like, those are done older, and these right here are just doing their thing. So we may not have that great of pollination, but still, I think we're actually going to get us a helping of popcorn this year.
Well, at least hopefully have enough to save some seeds and eat on a little bit.
That's right. These beans in here, they're running up the grass and everything. And these two rows right here look the best. But the Japanese beetles, they do this every year. They're getting in here and eating the silk out. And that's the most aggravating thing in the world. They hadn't done it to all of them, but right there, look right here. Like I said, that's the most aggravating thing ever. Once they eat that silk out of the end of that, it opens all this up and it lets moisture get down in that ear. So as soon as these start to dry, we'll probably need to go ahead and get them picked. And then let them finish drying up at the house somewhere, because we don't want moisture getting inside that ear, because it could cause it to re-sprout. Then our sweet potatoes, man, they really must like this soil down here too. I wouldn't be afraid to say these have vined out twice as much as those at the house, ain't it?
Oh, absolutely. They and the funny thing is, we ain't never planted them down here for a long time, because one year, years ago, we tried to plant some down here, and me and Andy didn't know. We ain't never grown no sweet potatoes, and we planted them like late, and then we were like, why didn't we get any sweet potatoes? The ground must not be no good. And
we left them, we didn't leave them long enough.
Yeah, we didn't leave them in the ground long enough. And so
we've learned a lot since
well,
then.
yeah, and we just never planted no more down here after that, because we said, oh, it don't do good down there. But it was us. It was user error. Hindsight's 20/20. But I'm excited to see how these do. Look here.
Our late squash are doing pretty good too.
These little cucamelons, is that what they're called? Little Mexican gherkins. They're starting to put on little fruits. Right, here's one. I want to show y'all what it looks like on the inside. Because I was reading on the internet and it said be about that big or a little bigger before you pick them.
And it's just like a little miniature cucumber, right? Now these are also something a subscriber sent us last year, towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
It was too late to plant them when we got them last year, so we saved them till this year to plant.
They remind you, if you really like the taste of cucumbers, it's almost like a really strong cucumber. It's very good. I love cucumbers, so they have a very, very strong flavor.
And they're bite size.
In a good way, yeah.
What did it say about an inch was about as big as you wanted to get?
I seen another one somewhere when I was over here looking just now. I don't know. That's the only thing we see if we are gonna grow these again.
We need a trellis.
Yeah, because they're really hard to find. And look, they're like
they're plumb over into the corn and everywhere.
They are good though.
All right.
Well, so here's what I'm thinking I'll do. We gonna ride up there and we'll show them the field corn since it's rain.
We can give them an update on that.
And then I may go out there and pick those tomatoes. That way they're waiting on me tomorrow morning too.
Okay.
And then I'll work on tomatoes and shelling peas tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Up here to the field corn patch, and this one we're going to show you today. This one is ours. If you've been around for a while, you know we also planted a field on Andy's daddy's land, which is only, 2 seconds right that way.
It's just right over there.
Yeah.
And it looks good too. Well, let me say this. It looks better than it did.
Yeah, there you
We're
go.
still on the top side of that field. If you look back at that video, and you remember me saying I thought the top side of that field was too far gone, I still feel the same way. The corn plant itself actually looks better, but I just don't think it's going to really make any ears. There's no ears on the stalk or anything like that, and that's okay. We're not going to complain too bad about it because the bottom side of that field is looking just about as good as what this right here does. And to our surprise, the rain just done wonders on this corn crop, y'all. And this beside us is the corn that was planted late. Look at how much it's grew. It's almost caught up with the corn that was already here. Let's look at this. Like, this is amazing. But, you know, we don't have as good a stand on the replanted corn as what I would have liked.
Some of it out there is as tall as the rest of it.
I think so, yeah. I'm wondering if the skip spots in the field here, I don't know if that was my planter or if where it was just so dry the corn didn't come up. It's a possibility that it was my planter locking up and it skipped those places. But either way, what corn's here looks pretty good considering the situation. I never once cultivated this corn because after it came up, it was so dry I wasn't about to come up here and cultivate it. So during all that, it actually grew to the point that it's too tall to cultivate now. And as you can see, there's no dirt healed up around this corn or anything. And I imagine that's why that one probably blew over.
Yeah, I seen another one like that somewhere, right there.
Where? Right here?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so it has no dirt around it to support it or anything. Had I known we were going to get rain later on, I probably would have come up here and healed it up. But, you know, I didn't figure we were going to get a whole lot, so there was no sense in me coming up here and busting that ground open and letting what moisture was in there dry out. But I think it's still going to be okay. I see a lot down through there, though, that's leaning over.
Well, it stood back up.
But it stood back up, so
yeah.
it should be fine. And there's really not that many weeds in it at all. Where it was so dry, no weeds really ever came up in it. But it's looking really good, y'all. Look right here.
We are very pleased because, boy, this has been a struggle this year.
It has. And I will say it's not going to be the crop it could have been, but it's going to be a whole lot better than what we expected.
At least it hopefully is going to be a crop.
Yep, we're going to have something. The Japanese beetles are on the silks of this corn too. So there's your update on the field corn, y'all. It's looking great. We are pleased with how this has turned out.
Didn't you say you had some coons getting it?
No, that other field up there's got deer.
Oh.
The deer have been pulling the stalks over. Not a lot of it, but there is. If you look down through the rows, you can see a couple of stalks. Matter of fact, I think I see one right here in this field. Yeah, right here.
Reckon why they had to walk all the way up in here to do it.
See that? How that's bent over and broke over like that?
Oh.
The deers do that. Let's go down here and show this little spot that was replanted right here on the bottom side. And then we'll show them the flower patch up there at the top of the hill. So this right here, you can't even tell the replanted corn from the corn that was already here. This corn was planted.
Wow.
When was this planted?
It was probably a month later than that.
Very end of May, wasn't it?
I have to look at my calendar.
I think it was. And look at this. It's shot up since it rained. 'Cause I didn't realize it was this tall. It's over my head. This row is where it was already here. This was the corn that was planted in, what, April?
Maybe.
I think it was April. And then this corn right here was planted at the end of May. And look at them. This is a whole lot healthier looking plant. Well, basically because it never suffered. This right here has went through all kinds of struggles and suffering and everything else, where this was planted. Now it did go for a while without getting any rain on it.
Yeah, I
after it
mean,
was
and
planted.
somehow it come up. Like, I don't even know how it even come up.
But it never really seemed to struggle. And it just went. This,
Look at the roots on that thing.
I know. See, if I'd have come through here and healed that up, that would have been covered up with dirt. But too late to do that now, ain't it?
Boy, the weeds is coming into it.
Yeah, they are.
Well, luckily the corn's big now, though.
Yeah, it'll shade most of it out. Down here towards the bottom, it's fairly thin. For some reason, it didn't come up that good down here. But it's all okay. But it does tell me now that I don't think I need to get in too big a hurry planting my corn like I always do. I always hit the panic button right around when it starts getting warm in April. Like, we got to plant the corn. Well, I believe now I may wait on up into May before I actually plant it next year.
I know, that looks really good. I ain't been down on this part lately.
So let's go show these flowers. I got a little flower patch up here by the road that's, well, I say it's for the pollinators, and it's right on the side of the road, and it's just pretty when you come down the road, and it never had any rain on it after I sowed it.
Till just now.
Till just recently here. And a lot of it had already came up on its own from what moisture was in the ground. But a lot of it apparently didn't come up because we have a lot of stuff that's just now popping through the ground. So this is it. All of the buckwheat that you see and the zinnias that are already blooming are what came up early. But look down here. Show this, Megan. All of these new zinnias that are popping up here, they're all like this all the way up that strip. So this is going to be just thick as it can be with zinnias. And that was my intentions, because I love zinnias. And then we have some sunflowers. The deer worked on the sunflowers pretty good. So I don't know if they'll bloom too good in this or not, but look at that. Who knew buckwheat and zinnias would go together so well?
Yeah, they are. It is really pretty.
And they're loaded. The butterflies are all over them. See, look right here. This is all getting ready to just start busting with blooms. All this is. And then look down here at my feet. Like all these little zinnias that are coming up. Look right here. I hadn't seen this. They're coming up thick right there. So yeah, y'all, that rain was a blessing, that's for sure. But I'm just surprised at how pretty this turned out. Megan, you gonna pick all 2 acres by hand?
I mean, I picked all this by hand last year.
Well, that should be twice as much this time. I think we might try out Daddy's corn picker on this year and pick it with machine this time. We'll probably walk through
Get our
the
seeds.
field and get our seed corn. And I think I'm going to attempt to pick it with the picker this time and just see how that works out. I don't know. I'm a little concerned though, because this heirloom corn is so tall and the ears are so high up in it. I'm interested in seeing how well that picker does with it.
Yeah, because a lot of the ears are really, like a lot of them I can't even reach.
Yeah, they're so tall. I mean, you know, your traditional hybrid type corns and everything, they don't have the ears up that high. So I'm real interested in seeing how well that picker works. We can't use it. We may end up having to pick it by hand. I hope not.
All right, well, let's head back to the house, and
Well, we got to pick some tomatoes now.
I'm gonna go pick some tomatoes, and it'll be supper time before you know it.
Yeah, it will be. Guess who's cooking supper tonight, y'all?
Mr. Lawson.
I'm gonna cook supper.
Well, part of it.
On the grill, most of it. I'm gonna cook the entree. One more quick stop before we head back down the road. We come over here to check on the sorghum patch just to see how things look, and to our surprise, some of it is coming up.
Now this you see here If you remember, this came up from last year, which we're just gonna leave it.
Yeah, this is seed that was here from what I plowed under. This was not planted seed, but this was a planted seed. This is a planted seed. This is planted seed. This is planted seed. There's not a lot of it coming up, but you know what that means? That means
that 20-year-old
seed that was in the freezer will still germinate and come up. Now, this has been planted for
a month at least.
Probably a month and a half now.
Yeah.
And has had no rain on it till just recently. And so I guess that seed's just been laying there waiting on the rain to come and has finally germinated. Look at this. There's some more. Now, like I said, it's nothing spectacular because I can look out the rest of that row and I don't see anything. But then I look around right here, I see some more that's come up in the row. So that could either mean that a lot of the seed was bad, or it could have possibly germinated under the ground and then just dried out and died. I don't know which one would have happened.
Right.
But I think what we've decided we're going to do here, since we've seen this, is just let it go. I'm not going to cultivate anything in this field. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to let it go. Let all that down there produce seeds. It's obvious we're not going to have enough to press for molasses this year. So we're just going to let everything go to seed, save the seeds from it, and we'll be ready to rock and roll next year. At least I hope so anyways. Cover crop that I sowed out here on the potato patch is coming up too. I just noticed that just now. Yeah, you see all the little buckwheats coming up. I see a sunflower here and there out there. I'm not going to walk out in it. So I guess the rain hit that right at the right time.
Yep.
Right yonder's your watermelon deer busted. See it laying there?
Yep.
He cleaned it out too.
Had himself a treat. Boy, these vines do look a whole lot better.
Yeah, the vines do. Now these on this end don't look that much better, but these right here look a whole lot better. Let's see. Let me find a good one. I know that don't look too special, but y'all, that looks a whole lot better than what it did. We're just gonna let it go. It's got some buckwheat growing in here. I ain't gonna worry about it. I'll just let this spot go till frost and let them watermelons do what they're gonna do.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll keep an eye on the watermelons.
Yeah, if they make more watermelons, they make more watermelons. If they don't, they don't. We actually have a few more watermelon plants planted down in the creek garden behind the house. So,
yep.
And they're looking great. So hopefully we have a late crop of watermelons on those. All right.
Back to the house.
Let's get back to work here.
So we've come back to the house. We're gonna pick through these tomatoes, and that way I can work on tomatoes and shell peas and kind of break up the monotony a little bit in the next couple of days.
Done a little bit better this time, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Look at that. That's a little over half a 5-gallon bucket, and then that car washing bucket there.
Yep. Done all right, and the new one's coming on look a whole lot better.
Look at it. Look at that sky.
Yeah, maybe it'll.
I believe we might get us another thunderstorm this evening.
So Andy's cooking pork chops on the grill, and I'm gonna make us a few cheesy potatoes to go with them. I'm also going to cut up a squash and just throw it in there with them because, let's face it, y'all, at this point, I have so much squash, I'm just trying to stick it in anywhere I can find to put it. So, I boiled these potatoes till they get just fork tender and not falling apart. So, these are some of the fingerling potatoes, so they didn't take long at all to get to that point. They're a little softer potato, I figure, because they don't take as long to cook. So now what I'm going to do is get my squash in there. Alright, let's throw our squash in there. Now we're going to need us a big old spoonful of mayonnaise. Actually, let's do a little bit more. A little bit more. I'm gonna have enough to coat potatoes. We're gonna do some salt and pepper. And y'all have seen me make this before. It's been a while. Last time I made it, last time I made it on video, I did it in the smoker. So let's get all that mixed together. And I just want to make sure, like I said, I got enough mayonnaise that everything gets coated in mayonnaise. I know mayonnaise on potatoes sounds like super weird, but it is good. So everybody's coated. I'm going to stick this in a 350-degree oven for, I don't know, 15 minutes, something like that, 15 or 20 minutes. Let all that mayonnaise get all melty and everything. Let my squash get soft, and then we'll add the cheese.
So I just got the pork chops on the grill here. We're having grilled pork chops tonight, and they're already smelling good. These are our pork chops. We cut them roughly about 3/4 of an inch thick, maybe a little bit less than that. But I am using, I have no idea what this stuff is. But anyways, I put this stuff on them as seasoning, and I don't know what that stuff is, but I really do like it. I happened to find it in the cabinet the other day, and I cooked some steaks and used it on them, and I was like, man, this is good.
Alright, my potato mixture looks pretty good. And now, we're going to put us a good layer of cheese on top of them. And we'll just leave them in there till that cheese melts and they'll be ready.
I believe it's time I'm going to flip them here. Oh yeah. Boy, I wish y'all could smell them things. I'm gonna sprinkle me a little bit of this seasoning on this side. Uh-oh, got a little carried away there. I believe they are about done. This is the bad thing about grilling pork. They always want to flame up on you. But boy, they sure are good. There, that one. Fat's starting to burn on that one. I believe they're done though. All right, let's go take them in the house.
My cheesy taters.
Boy, them look good.
Well, of course they're good.
Yeah, because you cooked them, ain't it?
You've eaten them before?
I know. But they just look so good. I love the sight of melted cheese.
That's what makes it look so good, ain't it?
Yeah.
Cut mine up.
Let's see. Of course, we gotta have us some macaroni.
Junk food occasionally.
Junk food. I grew up on this stuff right here, and it ain't killed me yet. All right, and then let's heat some of this. This is homemade jelly, grape jelly.
Yeah, I had a few grapes actually out there on my vines. I made a little bit of grape jelly.
I reckon this is the first grape jelly we've ever made off of our grapes, ain't it?
Yeah.
Or you've ever made.
Yeah.
I didn't make it. It looks good. Boy, that's pretty.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Well, good.
That's really good.
Well, that's a fine looking plate.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all remember my sweet gherkin pickles that I made several videos back? I've been letting them sit for a couple weeks. And so we're going to give them a try. This was a recipe I'd never tried before, so why not? They're good.
Are they good?
They actually taste like the gherkin pickles.
Well, I guess that's what they're supposed to
I
taste
know,
like. ain't
they're
it?
good. I know, but it was a weird recipe. I didn't know how it would be.
Well, they look good.
Here, you want to try one?
I'll try one.
Here, try one like this. One of these little ones.
Look first. Make sure it smells
Why you
all
got a
right.
smell of it?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that?
I like those.
That's pretty good, ain't it? Like, it's
Yeah.
different. It's not like a dill pickle or the 14-day pickles.
It's not strong either.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yay! So
I like
that
it.
was a good recipe. That was actually a good recipe.
What's your favorite?
Well, I guess let's get to eating our supper.
Yeah, we're going to eat some supper, so I guess that's going to be about it. For
Yeah,
this
I guess
one.
that'll about wrap it up. So, guys, I hope you really enjoyed today's video. Hope you might have learned a little something. And anyways, till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.